Hey everyone, Josh Martinez here, and welcome to this week's idea. So this week's idea is why I like buying indexes. Okay, so let's get into it. So this is the S&P 500 E-mini futures, and this has never gone to zero, and up to this point has a 100% recovery rate. Now, does that guarantee that this will continue to go up forever? No, of course not. This is trading. There are no guarantees, and there is risk involved. But let's just kind of dig into this. Well, let's start with the basics. What is the S&P 500? So the S&P 500 represents the top 500 stocks of the United States stock market. So in the stock market, you have thousands and thousands and thousands of stocks to choose from. This represents the very best of the best, the top 500. So if one of those stocks of the top 500 underperforms, it will automatically be replaced by something that is better, which is fantastic. So you're always focusing in on the best of the best. Now this is like a scoreboard, so it's going to represent the top 500. The S&P 500 does play a big role in many American retirement accounts, so Roths, 401ks, pension funds, etc. The United States government is well aware of that, and so one of the things which they do is they put in some rules to kind of help prevent flash crashes. So there's what's called a circuit breaker. So a circuit breaker is very much like how there's electricity that runs through your home. And if there's an undesirable amount of electricity that kind of goes through your home, it's going to pop a breaker. And that breaker is designed to minimize damage of an undesirable exposure. Well, circuit breaker from the S&P 500 is the same exact thing. If the market falls too much too quickly, then there's what's called a circuit breaker, where literally the government shuts off the market. And the government says, okay, everyone, take a break, no more trading. Well, if the market were to fall a little bit too much more after the, turns back on, another circuit breaker pops and it says, okay, this time we're going to take a break, but this time when we turn it back on, you can only buy, you can't sell. And then if the market keeps falling, then another circuit breaker pops and it says, okay, everyone take a break for a period of time, no more trading for the rest of the day. So why is this important? Well, it's important because it helps prevent flash crashes of bringing this thing down to zero. Another thing is this is heavily affected by population growth, innovation, printing of money, right? And so when you're focusing on the best of the businesses in the United States stock market and there's more money is printed, that means more opportunity for these businesses to get bigger and make more money. Not just from the United States either. So if another country prints money and they have huge inflation, right? A lot of the times, not always, but a lot of the times, the wealthy of those countries will bring that money to the United States stock market, and they do that because of the reliability of the United States stock market compared to their stock market. So it's pretty neat how that works too. All right, so if you think about this, we've had pandemics, we've had wars, we've had tsunamis, we have earthquakes, change in interest rates, presidents, prime ministers, etc., you name it. But yet here we are approaching all-time highs again. So what does this really mean? Well, for me, it means like any downward movement is considered a short-term move or buying opportunity. So anytime I see the market dip and I see a low price, I know that like the news is going to tell you how bad things are. But when you begin to understand the indexes have a history of going up over time, any downward movement becomes a buying opportunity. Now, do I enter in off the monthly time frame? No, I don't enter in off the monthly time frame, but I'll use it to help me analyze the market. Oftentimes, I like to go to a daily time frame, and then I just look for low prices, light and high prices. Why? Well, when you see a low price, look how many days the market goes up, right? You see a low price, look how many days the market goes up. There's what's called a 7 to 11 rule. And so it's not the holy grail. It just basically means this. The market traditionally, not always, will move 7 to 11 candlesticks between low prices and high prices. So if the market is low, then my anticipation is there could be a 7 to 11 candlestick push. And if that's the case, right, these are daily candlesticks. So every candlestick represents one day. So if the market goes up 7 to 11 candlesticks, that could be 7 to 11 days of a trend. Let me show you what I mean. So like from this low, we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. On the 7th day, the market retraced. From this low, we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 days, and then the market retraced. from this low, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 days, and then the market retrace. So I like this, right? I like to look at a daily time frame for high prices, low prices. So currently right now, we're on day 3. So my brain says, all right, we got today and potentially 4 more days of upward movement. So if I go to my 1-hour time frame, what I'm really looking for is I'm looking for the opportunity to find a trend and say, okay, the market's making higher highs and higher lows. Buyers are currently in control. We're at a high price. If I copy this angle and I bring it up, I can now see I'm near my resistance. And so if the market can fall back down to support and give me a buying opportunity or a counter trend line break or something indicating the market's going to go up, that's a good little buy opportunity. If the market does break above and then falls back down and then gives me a counter trend line break, that's also a good little buy opportunity. But I'm going to be focusing more on the buying side because A, indexes tend to go up over time. B, the daily time frame is at a low price, pushing to a future high price, which could be another 4 more days of upward movement. All right, everyone, I hope this helps. Why I like to buy indexes. There is risk involved in trading. You should never invest money you cannot afford to lose. Always keep risk management in mind. Understand that we are not CTAs, or stands for Commodity Trading Advisors. And what that means, what I'm sharing with you is research. What you do with this information is completely up to you. Past performance is not indicative of future returns. And what that means is no guarantees of a positive outcome. There's risk involved every single trade. If I place a trade, I can absolutely lose that trade. If you place a trade, you can absolutely lose that trade. Being a good trader is managing risk, understanding risk, and trying to make good decisions over time. Look at us like a newspaper. We'll share with you this information. We'll walk you through our research. But just like a newspaper, once you receive this information, what you do with it is completely up to you. See you guys. See you next time.